before we go into the details of this podcast episode, this YouTube video, I have something so exciting, so amazing to share with you. I've done a free masterclass recently because I wanted to give you a taste of what this new chapter is about. I'm launching my first ever course program, however you want to call it. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. It's been a long time coming. I've always loved to work with people in groups. This is a group program and it's called Your Soul's Compass. It's a 3 months journey to really embody your birth chart and create the life that you desire. If you've been following me for a while, I had a podcast and I wrote a book to help you create the life that you desire. And now I bring astrology into the mix because astrology is not something to learn, just to learn. It's something that you can live. So this is really a beautiful 3-month container for the spiritual, heart-led, astrology-loving souls who are ready to really stop just like learning about astrology or be curious about astrology and start embodying it. This is going to be life-changing. It's going to be live online for everybody who wants to join. And we're going to go on a journey to astrology, astrocartography, ritual, and embodied practices to help you reconnect with your truth, with your inner compass, and to be empowered to take the aligned action required to create the life that you desire. This is not one-on-off reading. This is not a masterclass. This is really a soulful, supportive journey back home to yourself. We're gonna go live bi-weekly. It's gonna be like amazing. I'm gonna have guests coming in to guide you through practice. I'm gonna talk about astrocartography, astrology in the program container. You will have weekly astro guidance video with ritual and tool to navigate the astrology of each week. We're going to have astrocartography and how you can use this beautiful tool if you want to travel, but also to bring the energies to you. If you're not a traveler, you're going to have a private community space that feels like a beautiful connection of other like-minded souls. And you can upgrade to a VIP version to have in one-on-one session with me. And there's nothing like a birth chart or an astrology, astrocartography chart. It's really a mastermind session with me. So join this program. It's going to start on September 12th. It's going to go until December. The closing call will be on December. It's going to be a 3-month journey, immersion into astrology. And it's going to be so powerful. I'm so excited. I cannot wait to have you in there. So if you want all the information for all the dates, the prices, and all of that, check the link in my bio or in the show notes as well to get all the information. And if you have any questions, make sure to reach out to me at luana@luanabossetti.com. My email is open for you. And I really would like to help you really embody astrology so you can create the life that you truly desire. So I'm so excited. Join me in this course. And now I'll let you go back to the episode. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to another episode of the Astro Wanderer. Today, I'm going to talk again about astrocartography. I know I'm doing more astrology as episode than astrocartography because they go hand in hand. I want you to really understand and use astrology as your compass, so then you can also use astrocartography. And if you don't know what astrocartography means, I'm going to tell you in a minute, but I have a couple of episodes where I talk about astrocartography that I will link in the show notes or on YouTube if you're watching this. I have a playlist about astrocartography where I have a full episode where I explain what astrocartography is and give you run down on the different lines. Then I have an episode where I talk about the secret in astrocartography called remote activation. And then the last astrocartography episode was about me sharing how like I traveled to Paros and that helped me come back home to myself using astrocartography. And today I'm doing another episode where I share my personal experience on using astrocartography. But if you have any questions about the subject, if you want to know more and all of that, just let me know. Comment on YouTube, comment on Spotify, send your questions over at my email address at luana@luanabossetti.com. Same as my website. You can find all the links in the show notes because I would like to talk more about this topic, maybe bring people on as well. So, yeah, this is my favorite topic, like merging astrology and travel. That's my favorite thing ever. So, before we get started, let me give you a quick explanation of what astrocartography is. So, astrocartography is the travel branch of astrology. It creates a map of the world, highlighting all the areas in the world where you might feel drawn to, the areas that are good for growth, work, career, relationship, fun. It uses all the planets, takes the map of the world, put all the planets in with some lines on top of it, and really is like your cosmic GPS that really guides you in this journey home. But you cannot use this tool if you don't know your birth chart because it's based on your birth chart. So once you know your birth chart, then you can go deeper and use astrocartography as a tool. Like it's my favorite branch of astrology because I'm a traveler. I've been traveling for 13 plus years now. And I started using astrocartography like a year and a half ago, like in my travel, really deep into my travel. So that really helped me like to really travel with purpose because when I use the lines as a compass for myself, I can have the best trips based on my purpose. Some trips might just be for fun, some will be for your career, for work. And if you are also like not traveling right now, or if you don't have the means to travel or you don't like travel that much, you can go back to the episode remote activation, the best kept secret in astrocartography or something like that, because I tell you how you can really bring the energies to you, even if you don't go to those places. But yeah, all of that you can find on YouTube, on my Spotify. And if you have any questions, please reach out to me. But today I'm here to talk about how I used astrocartography in this time of my life, here to come to Belgium and to reignite my purpose in business. So I spent a month in Paros, and I share in the Paros episode that really helped me. I was on a Neptune Sun Paran, which is an aspect of astrocartography, but the aspect was about like dissolving the ego and really like connect to the other realm. And I'm also on my progress moon in Pisces. So this is something that really work hand in hand. And I have an episode on the progress moon if you don't know what it is. So check that out as well. But that chapter really helped me come back home to myself and into my body. This chapter here in Belgium was completely different. In fact, I don't have as well like the lines close to here, but there are different tools in astrocartography, and the tools I use, it was local space, because I looked at my local space, the relocation chart here, and all of that, and I found that I had a Saturn planetary line. So what is Saturn about? Saturn is the planet of karma and responsibility. It's the planet, and I have an episode on Saturn as well, of course, so go check that out as well. But Saturn is really good to help you with your purpose, with your business, to get down to work, take responsibility, um, and really reconnect to your purpose. And that's what happened to me. Here in Paros, I was connected to my business, but here I really took the next level. I was really able to reignite my purpose in my business. To, like, I don't know if you've noticed on my content, but I was really able to embody astrology for myself first and foremost, and then to help others do the same. I've just like created a masterclass and launched a program about it. So it really helped me to reignite my purpose and really realigned, because also I'm a Virgo rising, and uh, I'm here to be at service to people. My MC is in Gemini, so I do that by a lot of things, by using this podcast, my content, my YouTube, if you're watching this, my writings on Substack, my Dreamer's Letter, and all of that, one-on-one readings, group programs now. And really, it helped me to like really reconnect to the desire also to like have this group program that I've always dreamed of. I've always been good at like connecting people and create communities. Like I remember when I was very young, probably 7 years old, everybody always wanted to come to my birthday parties because I always created something. I was entertainer in holiday resorts for 8 years, and I was entertainer even before that, because I remember this specific birthday when I created this community and I ran like my first show, my first play, just like intuitively. I had a plot and I made everybody like kind of like dress up, like do face painting, create like the decoration, and we did this little show. And that's so funny because it made me realize that I'm good with community. Leo is my 11th house of community, so that's where I shine my light bright. But I always felt like kind of scared on that hand as well, because I have Chiron, the wounded healer there. Like my biggest wounds is to be seen for who I fully am. So. Group programs and group settings felt like scary for me in so many ways. But during this chapter here in Belgium, using Saturn, and my Saturn is in Aquarius, it's all about breaking free from like the society, breaking free from limiting beliefs, from cages, from boxes. So that really helped me to really like break free from this. I led my first pay event here in Belgium. I really created like my first free masterclass. I launched my program. So that's how I use this Saturn energy to really be able to reignite my purpose in business and then take action, because Saturn is now in Aries. But in general, Saturn like once, okay, tells you what's your life lesson, what's your purpose, but then you cannot step into that purpose if you don't take the aligned action. So for me, Saturn was really like, okay, you have this desire, you have this vision. Now, how can we make it happen and take the aligned steps to be able to make this happen, to be able to have this beautiful event that I ran in July, to be able to run the masterclass that I did last weekend, to launch my group program that, by the way, it's on now. And if you really want to use astrology as your compass and astrocartography, because that will be part of it, I highly suggest you to check it out in the show notes. But it's really like how I was able to do all of that because I used astrocartography as my compass. I use like not only I like the first thing that you do when you look at astrocartography, it kind of validates a place. Like for example, I don't know if you ever felt to a place, see if you ever been to a place where you already felt like instantly at home, connected, and you feel like I want to stay here. Maybe you have some lines there. So the first step is really to validate. When I arrived here, I was like, I thought that this chapter would be about wander around, connecting with many people, being more out there, participating in events for my personal growth or meeting people. But then I came here the first week, it's settling. The second week, I was like, okay, this is not like the opportunities are not coming up. This is not what is emerging. Actually, I'm much more focused on my work. And then when I check like my astrocartography, it all made sense. But then from like validating that, to really embodying it, there's like the action step that you have to take, right? That I mentioned before. So that's when I was really like, okay, I'm here for business. Like Saturn is telling me reconnect, reignite the purpose in your business. Let's do that. I really did like the connection, and thankfully I was still in part of my like business program that I've been taking all summer. It ended like just a couple of weeks ago at the end of July, so that was very helpful as well. But yeah, I had to really let go of what like my mind wanted, in a way, like my ego, set the ego aside and reconnect with my purpose, and really be able to say, okay, this chapter it's about business, reigniting the fire, doing events and all of that. Let's do it. And I took the steps, and I in fact was more like, when I started like giving myself permission to really go full into that, things started shifted. I was more purposeful in how I use my time in my business. I create more, and like more from an embodied place, not just more things. Because in Paris, I felt so inspired that I was always writing and creating. Here, it didn't happen like that, but the content I created, the step I took were maybe less, but they were more like aligned and on purpose and direct to the point, which is all the purpose of Saturn. It's here to like really knock at your door and tell you, okay, it's time to really step into your purpose. It's time to take the aligned action and to go for it. So this was my experience here in Belgium, using astrocartography as my compass with this Saturn line. And I also, like, from here, like, Saturn was like, okay, now I don't know if you've been following me also my writing, but I've shared that I'm doing like this chapter. It's my last nomadic summer because I've been traveling for 13 plus years, and I'm ready to settle down somewhere. I have a home base. Then I will travel because that's part of who I am. I'm a Sag Moon. My IC is in Sagittarius as well. So travel is part of me. However, I want to have this home base, and so I divided like my summer, since I turned 33 this year, in three chapters to be able to find that home base. So the first chapter was Paros, the second chapter was here in Belgium, and then the third chapter I didn't plan it. I was like, universe, show me the way. And then when I got here and Saturn came into like the picture, was like, okay, now you reignited your business, now you're good with that, and now it's time to take like ownership of like where you want to go next. And I shared on my podcast and on my socials that really the place that is calling me more right now, it's a place that I've been many, many times. I have a tattoo. I don't know if you can see a tattoo here with the island of Mallorca. And I've tried to like kind of like make myself change my mind about it. Like, okay, you've been there many times, you have like, you love Mallorca, but sometimes it feels too much as well. So maybe that's not the place. But I had an astrocartography reading myself, and all the like places, all the lines were pointing to Mallorca. Then I had an astrology reading, and the astrologer was like, "You will go to a place that you already know." And then the universe sent me a specific sign when I was here, and I was like, okay, it's time to really follow my path there. Mallorca is calling me back. I have beautiful lines there. I have a moon line there. I have a Mars line. So it's good both for like these two energy, feminine and masculine, like work and play. So I think it's going to be beautiful. And I've never lived in Mallorca as a full-time astrologer. So that's another thing that Mars, sometimes if you're living on a Mars line, but you're not doing what you are really passionate about, it will feel like very hard. And so when I first moved to Mallorca and I was in the entertainment business, I loved it. And I loved Mallorca. And the next year I had to come back. And the year after I had to come back. But then when I started growing apart from this part of myself, I didn't want to be in the entertainment anymore. It felt hard. But then when I go back and doing what I really love, I think it's going to be amazing. I don't know if it will be my home base. I truly hope so. But if not, I have this calling to go there and follow my astrocartography that is leading me there. And I will tell you, maybe there will be an episode in September where I tell you I will share about Mallorca and astrocartography there. But for now, to wrap up here, this was another example of how you can really embody astrology, use it as your compass, using another branch of astrology that is astrocartography to really help you in your day-to-day life. Because these tools are not just up in the sky. You can bring them to your body, you can bring them to earth in your day-to-day life and use them as your compass. And I'm so passionate about talking about this. So if this resonates with you, you might want to consider joining me for my group program. It will start in September. So there's still like a few weeks to join. The early bird price will end at the end of August. So you want to check that before the month ends, because then the price will be raised in September. So if this is calling you, join me. I will be so honored to help you in this journey using astrocartography and astrology as your compasses. So yeah, I hope this episode resonates. If you want more about astrocartography, send me over your questions. Maybe I can do an episode where I really answer to your question, even about astrology. So if you have any question, please send them to me in my email or on Instagram at the Astro Wanderer, or comment on YouTube, on Spotify, and I will do an episode answering all your astrology, astrocartography questions if there are any coming out. But I wish you a beautiful week, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Peace and love. Ciao.